So, I am Nitin from Department of History, University of Delhi. Today we are going to talk about the various voyages of Columbus, Christopher Columbus. So it was at the end of 15th century. At that time, it was a achievement to get to India from any route, because everyone wanted to get to India to basically loot its riches. And at the end of 15th century, when it was very nearly impossible to reach Asia from Europe by land, because the route was very long and arduous, and encounters with hostile armies were difficult to avoid. And we know that Portuguese explorers solved this problem by taking to the sea. Yeah, they sailed south along the West African coast and around the Cape of Good Hope. And at that time, when Spain was very keen to get to India by any route, Columbus pitched an idea. He said that why not get to India via west. He said that why not sail west across the Atlantic instead of around the massive African continent. The young navigator's logic was sound, but his math was faulty. He pitched his idea to Portugal and England also, but they bluntly refuted it. They said that it was very incorrect of his math, that because Columbus said that the circumference of Earth was much smaller than his contemporaries believed it was. But we know that Earth is way bigger than Columbus pitched. But because Spain was very keen to get to India via any route, and we know that Portugal had that monopoly over the sea route to India, therefore Spanish rulers agreed to sponsor the Columbus's voyages. And because Columbus also wanted fame and fortune, and so does the Spanish rulers. They both agreed that any riches Columbus and his crews they will get 10% of it to keep with them, and they will get governorship of any land they will encounter. And thus the voyages begin. So now we will talk about the first voyage, which started in August 1492. Columbus set sail from Palos, Spain, with three small ships, the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria, though sponsored by the Spanish monarchs to find a western sea route to Asia. Most of his own crew doubted such a route existed. But no one to say, Columbus and his crew sailed through the Atlantic, and it was on October 12th that they sighted a land. Columbus firstly believed that it was some island of Asia, but we all know that that was not Asia. But nevertheless, it was Bahamas. Columbus made landfall on an island he named himself San Salvador. The ship sailed next to Cuba, which Columbus thought was mainland Asia, before reaching the island of Hispaniola on December 5th. Here, his one of the ships, Santa Maria, wrecked, and so he left his crew there, and there a new settlement of Spain was established, which was named La Navidad. And to bring this news to the Spain, Columbus went back to Spain and reached Spain on March 15th. And though he did not find the desired sea route to Asia, Columbus's accidental rediscovery of the American continent sparked of the beginnings of Spanish exploration and colonization of this new world forever. And it changed the course of history, because as we know now, America is at the peak of the world hierarchy. So I will move on to Ritesh, my friend, who will explain the first voyage of Columbus more deeply. Ritesh, over to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ritesh, and I'm here taking, as Nitin mentioned, that the three ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and Santa Maria, departing Spain on August 3rd with just three small ships, the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria. Columbus bravely sailed west with around 19 fuel into wholly uncharted waters. After weeks of potential mutinies, they finally made landfall in the Bahamas on October 12th, which Columbus mistook for the East Indies of Asia. Over the following months, the ships explored more Caribbean islands, making landfall in Cuba on October 28th and the island of Hispaniola on December 15th. They there they encountered and traded with the indigenous Tiago people whose possession of gold artifacts convinced Columbus he was nearing the lands of China described by Marco Polo. But disaster struck with the shipwreck of the Santa Maria, forcing Columbus to place Spain's first New World outpost of the La Navidad before setting sail on the return journey. The return trip abroad just the Mina and Pinta proved nightmares, enduring storms, wrecks, mutinies, and disease before finally returning to Palos, Spain on the March 15, 1493. Though celebrated as the first European to cross the Atlantic, Columbus had unwittingly rediscovered the continents between Europe and Asia that made up the New World, not the eastward look to Asia he intended. Nonetheless, his pioneering voyages sparked the era of Spanish exploration and colonization that transformed the global forever after. Thank you. I over it to Jyoti.
Hello friends, my name is Jyoti. I am student of MA first year from History Department and I am talking about Christopher Columbus' third voyages. Today is this chapter, the author opinion concerning Alice's discovery and description is island by Asian. In the last chapter, I gave a common story. In these, now I will set down my beliefs concerning Christopher Columbus, motives and knowledge, which emboldened as a man some learning to take this great enterprise so memorable to man of his and future time. He rightly recognized that these lands had been forgotten, for he had found them scribed of this I am not able to doubt at all. At one time process of Spain, I should like to God Aristotle on this matter. On leaving the starting of give relator for the Atlantic Ocean, he says some Carthaginians merchants discovery a large island which never been discovered before a habitat only by wild animal. It was therefore entirely wild and covered with large trees. It had great river on which ships good sails and was very everything that was planned there dominated and pursued and abandoned. Cropped. This island was very remote lying coast Africa, distance of several days. Sailing on the reaching it Carthaginians merchants inspired by fertility and of several days. Multitudes of climate began to settlement and built farm and villages on the learning Carthaginians. The, sen- the Senate to claim under pain to that therefore should sell for land time those who had been there should be put that for the fame of island was very high that if any other nation empire to were here it would conquer it has thus become a very formidable enemy of Carthage's and liberties. Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti, and hello everyone. I am Kanishk Sehrawat Hansraj College would like to elaborate more upon the third voyage of Christopher Columbus. This journey, as we all know, was embarked upon in 1498 and quest brought not only to expand European knowledge of the world, but also to open new pathways to the riches of the East. Setting sail from the port of Baramida in Spain, Columbus and his crew of explorers embarked upon a voyage that would take them into uncharted waters. The mission was clear: to find a westward passage to the Indian Ocean, a route that had eluded European navigators for centuries. As they sailed across the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, Columbus and his crew encountered many challenges. Disease, harsh weather conditions, and the constant threat of mutiny tested their resolve. Yet, despite these hardships, they pressed on, driven by the promise of discovery and adventure. Finally, it was on July 31st, 1498, after weeks at sea, Columbus and his crew sighted land, the Green Island of Trinidad. This marked the beginning of their exploration of the southern part of America, where they would encounter indigenous people and witness firsthand the wonders of this new world. The most remarkable aspect of Columbus' voyage was his unwavering belief that he had reached the outskirts of Asia. This belief, rooted in his interpretation of the ancient texts and his own calculations, shaped interactions with the indigenous people that he encountered. However, Columbus's journey was not without its controversies. His treatment of the indigenous people and his leadership style came under scrutiny, leading to tensions within his own crew over restraint. Despite these challenges, Columbus continued to push forward, determined to fulfill his mission. In 1500, Columbus returned back to Spain and his mission was complete. However, the reception was not as triumphant as he had hoped. Accusation of mismanagement and discord in the colony overshadowed his achievement, leading to a royal commission to investigate his actions. For the conclusion, I would like to refer to my friend Yash for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Kanishk. My name is Yash. I am from Hansraj College and a student of first year MA history. Now I am discussing the first and third voyages conclusion. So, Christopher Columbus' voyage marked a pivotal moment in the world history, particularly his first voyage in 1492, which led to the European discovery of the Americas. Here's a detailed conclusion. The first voyage, Columbus sailed westward from Spain in search of new trade route to Asia, but instead encountered the islands of the Caribbean, including Hispaniola. His journey initiated the Columbian exchange, facilitating the exchange of plants, animals, diseases, and cultures between the old and new world histories. Although Columbus' discovery had far reaching consequences, it led to the exploiting and mistreatment of the indigenous peoples. And when we talk about the third voyage, Columbus embarked on his third voyage with the goal of finding a westward passage to Asia and exploring further south. He reached the northern coast of South America, exploring areas such as Gulf of Paria and the Orinoco River. Despite his efforts, Columbus continued to believe he had reached Asia, leading to ongoing confusion about the geography of the region. And however, Columbus' legacy is deeply controversial as his actions contributed to the suffering and displacement of the indigenous people, establishment of system of exploitation and operations. In Columbus' voyage reshaped the world by connecting previously isolated regions, initiating a new era of the global exchange and interaction. However, they also brought about immense suffering and injustice, highlighted the complex and often dark consequences of the exploration and the colonizations. Thank you, my friends.
And here I am concluding it with a note that in the late 15th century, Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer in the service of the Spanish monarchy, embarked on a series of the voyages that would profoundly alter the course of world history. These four expeditions undertaken between 1492 and 1504 were driven by Columbus' ambitious quest to find a westward sea route to Asia, which was then known for its richness in spices, silk, and other valuable commodities. The voyages of Columbus were not merely exploratory endeavors, but represented a pivotal moment in the age of discovery, a period categorized by European exploration, expansion, and colonization. Columbus set sail with the hopes of establishing a direct trade route to Asia by passing the overland routes controlled by the Ottoman Empire. However, the Columbus journey eluded unexpected discovery that forever changed the understanding of the world. Instead of the reaching Asia, he encountered a vast expanse of previously unknown lands, eventually known as the Americas. These voyages marked the first sustained contact between the people of the Europe and the aboriginal civilization of the Americas, reshaping global geography, culture, and commerce in ways that reverberate to this day. Each of Columbus' four voyages was fraught with the challenges including navigational faults, new trees, and encounter with unfamiliar culture. And despite the hardship, Columbus persisted in the pursuit of glory, driven by the promise of wealth, fame, and imperial expansion. His expenditure laid the groundwork for subsequent European exploration and colonization of the Americas, setting in motion a centuries-long era of conquest, exploration, and cultural exchange. The four voyages of the Christopher Columbus stand as a testament to human curiosity, ambition, and the relentless quest for discovery. While Columbus himself remained a figure of historical controversy, his expedition remained a pivotal chapter in the annals of exploration, shaping the modern world in ways both profound and enduring. Thank you all. Thank you.